What if the ultimate battle between good and evil happened in isolation? Introduce the biblical story of Jesus' temptation in the wilderness, a moment when Jesus, alone and isolated, faces the devil's temptations. Briefly outline why this story still resonates today, especially in a world where temptation and moral choices confront us daily. Set the scene by describing the wilderness setting and the characters involved, focusing on Jesus and the devil. Explain the symbolism of Jesus' solitude in this desolate place and how this confrontation's isolation amplifies the weight of his choice. Emphasize the significance of Jesus facing temptation as both fully human and divine. One, nature of temptation. The three temptations Jesus faces, turning stones to bread, jumping from the temple to be saved by angels, and bowing to the devil for worldly kingdoms, each symbolize core human challenges. Sustenance. The first temptation appeals to physical needs and survival. By refusing to turn stones into bread, Jesus emphasizes the importance of spiritual nourishment over physical sustenance, affirming that man does not live on bread alone, Matthew 4:4. Identity and trust in God. The second temptation tests Jesus' identity and trust in God. By challenging him to jump from the temple, Satan urges Jesus to prove God's protection. Jesus resists, underscoring faith without needing proof or spectacle, power and authority. In the third temptation, the offer of dominion over the world in exchange for worship tests Jesus' commitment to his mission and allegiance to God alone. This final temptation reflects humanity's desire for power and the risk of compromising values for control. 2. Significance of Jesus' resistance. Jesus' resistance to each temptation highlights his unwavering commitment to God's will and his rejection of worldly power and personal gratification. This act of resilience is not just about rejecting the temptations, but modeling a life of integrity and obedience to God. For believers, Jesus' resistance provides a powerful image of fortitude, showing that even when tempted by fundamental needs, identity, and ambition, one can stay true to their spiritual purpose. 3. Meaning for believers today. Jesus' experience in the wilderness serves as an allegory for the inner struggles people face today. It's a reminder that, like Jesus, believers are often tested in isolation, where temptations feel most potent. Through faith, prayer, and reliance on God, they too can overcome personal challenges. This story encourages believers to draw strength from Jesus' example, fostering a mindset that emphasizes resilience, reliance on divine guidance, and the prioritization of spiritual values over worldly gains. Cite specific scripture passages from Matthew 4 and Luke 4 that recount the temptation. Share relevant quotes from theological scholars or interpretations that emphasize the significance of Jesus' victory over temptation and how it prepares him for his ministry. Address possible alternate interpretations of the story, such as viewing the temptations symbolically rather than literally, or the nature of evil presented here. Offer your perspective on these views, showing why this story remains impactful regardless of interpretation. Reiterate the importance of Jesus' confrontation with the devil, underscoring how this story provides believers with a powerful example of resisting temptation and staying true to their faith, especially in isolation. Invite viewers to share their thoughts in the comments about the relevance of this story in their lives. Encourage them to watch another video related to biblical teachings to deepen their understanding and connect with others in the community.